Before we get to Ayala versus Tapia 2, a special reminder. Coming up later this month, an event full of the unknown, the curious, and the unpredictable. Anticipation engulfs the upcoming matchup between Mike Tyson and Andrew Golota.
4 big bouts in one incredible night. Starting off with the baddest man of all, Mike Tyson. He's back and ready to unleash his brand of fury on Andrew Golota, a heavyweight who does whatever it takes to win. Plus, highly touted junior welterweight champion Zab Judah takes on Hector Quitos, the daughter of the greatest Layla Ali, and much more. Tyson versus Golota. This could get ugly. Friday, October 20th, live on pay-per-view.
Yeah, don't miss this event. It's Mike Tyson versus Andrew Golota. That's Friday, October 20th on SCT pay-per-view from the Palace of Auburn Hills. Friday, October 20th. Back here with Bobby Ches, and based on their foul-plagued ring histories, people are really expecting the worst. But how do you think that fight will actually play out?
Steve, based on the craziness those men have displayed inside the ring and outside the ring, I said it before, it could be the train wreck of the century. Both of these fighters could be fouling. Both of these fighters could force a great fight. Based on their styles, though, if you look at it and you break it down, Mike comes to fight, and Golota likes to fight. Golota's not a mover, not a jabber, not a sticker, not an outside quick guy. They're going to bang heads. They're going to explode. They're going to explode early, and it's never going anywhere near the distance.
It should be a dandy. One person who has a definite opinion about Tyson versus Golota is boxing commentator, writer, painter, and fight doctor Freddie Pacheco. It's time for the latest installment of The Doctor Is In.
The object of boxing, pure and simple, is to hurt your opponent. This violence is an integral part of the sport. It's what we pay for. It's what we cheer for. Trust me, no one in the history of the sport has walked out of a fight because it was too violent. However, ever since the Marquis de Queensberry introduced leather gloves and a list of regulations to the sweet science, we've tried to civilize the violence. We try to say this is a sport, not a brawl. We try to say the violence must be inflicted within the rules. We try to say that combatants can impose only just so much violence. But since boxing began, there are fighters who are considered dirty fighters. 2 great champions, Willie Pep and Sandy Sadler, staged a fight which is still considered an encyclopedia of dirty tactics today. And a fighter thought to be a saint today, Rocky Marciano, was considered the dirtiest of fighters in his day because he simply didn't know how to box, and all he did was show up for a mugging. In 2 weeks' time, Mike Tyson and Andrew Golota will climb into a ring. Both men have fragile personalities. Both men find it hard to control their rages, and both have histories of inflicting violence outside of the rules. Golota is known for his low blows, Tyson for his unpredictable behavior and shots after the bell, and folks, both of them have bitten opponents. What we have here is 2 walking disaster areas moving rapidly to a cataclysmic explosion. And the irony here is that the very thing that repulses boxing purists is the very thing that makes this fight a huge public attraction. Well, what will happen here? It won't be pretty, but I'll tell you one thing, I'm not going to miss it. This is the Fight Doctor, and this is my diagnosis.
You knew the Fight Doctor would have something to say about Tyson versus Golota as this crowd continues to go wild in anticipation of Ayala versus Tapia 2. Will they learn, though, Tyson and Golota, from their checkered pasts?
Well, Steve, I think they both learned that there are repercussions for bad behavior and that sanctions will be imposed. But once the bell rings, that could fly directly out the window for both of these guys. I think the unexpected is all we can expect.
Well, in preparation for Tyson, Golota's trainer Al Certo has instructed sparring partners to intentionally use roughhouse tactics. Certo says, if Golota wants to body slam Tyson, that's his business. I'm not teaching Golota anything he doesn't already know. Golota wrote the book himself. If you have to body slam Tyson, who cares? If Tyson wants to turn this into a wrestling match, let it be. Those quotes from a recent USA Today article. Now, we recently sat down with Mike Tyson to get his thoughts on the upcoming fight. So here's what he had to say.
He's tough and rugged, and people, I'm not scared of these guys. These guys think they intimidate me, and they think that I think that they're scared. Oh, well, if they're scared, that's on them. I'm gonna bring the pain to them. And that's all it is. Then we go see how tough you are. Tough guy. I like tough guys. All the time in prison, I always ran to these guys, they were tough. When they were in, they ain't tough. When they get confronted, they ain't tough. When I bring that pain to them, they ain't tough. They think they know they've been around crazy niggas. Oh, no. They don't know one. They don't know a crazy nigga. No, they really don't.
Mike really has to let his feelings be known. He shouldn't hold back like that. That's right, the always unpredictable Mike Tyson facing the enigmatic Andrew Golota on Friday, October 20th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, live on pay-per-view from the Palace of Auburn Hills, just outside Detroit. Don't miss it. That's Friday, October 20th.